What you're looking at is not a design choice, it's a statement. For decades, real estate has operated as a closed system, one that relies on silence, uniformity, and control. Open access represents the moment that system begins to crack. This is about dismantling the monopoly on information, pricing, and choice, and replacing it with something more honest. We are moving away from an economy built to protect insiders and toward an economy built around consumer choice. This is not about disruption for its own sake. It's about restoring balance. I am Steve Colino, and this is a powerful and much needed Confidential Remarks. At the heart of this shift is a simple conflict. The old system is built around protection. It relies on uniform pricing, limited transparency, and silence. Its primary goal is to protect the system and, by extension, the agent. Open access is built around empowerment. It relies on transparency and differentiation. Its primary goal is to expose how value is created so the consumer can decide. This is not a debate about lower prices. It's a debate about who holds the power in the transaction. Price leadership is not an accident. It is a defensive mechanism. By establishing a dominant pricing norm, typically 5 to 6%, the industry creates what I call a manufactured normal. That normal discourages inquiry. It tells consumers that questioning price is unprofessional or unethical. The wall of uniformity blocks comparison, blocks accountability, and ultimately blocks progress. It's not about fairness, it's about control. Uniformity is often framed as protection for the consumer. In reality, it protects weak operators. When everyone charges the same, performance no longer matters. Skill no longer matters. The system ensures that underperformers never have to explain themselves. High performers and low performers look identical on paper, and that is not an accident. Uniformity is a shield for mediocrity. To preserve the status quo, the industry relies on silence and shame. Alternatives are framed as dangerous, full price is framed as safe. This creates a false dichotomy that keeps consumers guided rather than informed. The reality is not binary, it's a spectrum. From do-it-yourself to full concierge service, value exists across a range of options. Control depends on pretending that spectrum doesn't exist. Transparency is the catalyst that collapses this system. The old model forces consumers into a black box. Trust me, economics. Open access replaces that with visible options. A menu-driven market. When pricing, services, and outcomes are visible, silence no longer works. Systems built on secrecy don't survive exposure. Transparency doesn't attack the system. It simply reveals it. One of the most persistent myths in real estate is that it's an indivisible service. It isn't. It's a collection of distinct components: marketing, access, negotiation, compliance. Open access unbundles these layers and allows clients to choose their level of involvement. Done for you, done with you, or do it yourself. Choice replaces coercion. Open access doesn't force prices down. It forces explanations up. When services are visible, agents must justify their fees relative to outcomes. Price leadership doesn't collapse because cheaper options exist. It collapses because better explanations win. The standard fee is dead. The justified fee is the future. The old system believes it knows what's best for the consumer. Open access says the consumer decides. The system protects the agent. Open access protects the client. One operates in silence. The other operates in exposure. Licensing sets the floor, not the ceiling. The market, not the system, determines what's possible. Price leadership depends on comparison being impossible. Open access makes comparison unavoidable. When services are unbundled and prices are transparent, value becomes visible. The best agents rise because their value is clear. Weak agents fall because their protection is gone. That is not chaos. That is meritocracy. We are witnessing the end of the industry's desire for price maintenance and the beginning of the consumer's demand for choice. Open access prioritizes the client because it operates on a fundamental truth. Markets exist to serve consumer needs, not to protect agent income. This shift is not optional, it's inevitable. The only decision left is whether you resist it or lead it. Embrace the shift. Move from control to empowerment. This has been Confidential Remarks.